Good morning. Good morning, advancers. I'm so glad to be back here for another morning. We get to honor God in our doing. And the Bible says, let your work shine before men, that they may see your work and glorify your Father which is in heaven. And that's what we're doing this morning. We're glorifying our Father which is in heaven, that they see us and they see Jesus. And so this morning, as we always do, we want to turn our hearts and our minds towards Jesus. And we do that through devotion and prayer. It's a time where we can really center ourselves and make the main thing the main thing. He's the reason why we are all here. This morning, I'm going to bring up to the stage Dr. Lakeisha. And she will give us the devotion and prayer this morning. We'll turn the platform over to you, Dr. Lakeisha.
Thank you so much, Tim. Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. I am being an adult today, and I'm drinking the matcha from home. It's a struggle, and it doesn't taste like Starbucks, but I'm sacrificing, right? So I hope you guys are doing well. To all of the advancers out there. I'm going to kind of do a continuation from last week. I know I was talking about just that power to become like the sons of God. And when I was just really asking the Lord, like, what should the focus be for this week? He took me to a very familiar passage, and it's coming from 2 Samuel, the 6th chapter. And this is where David was moving the ark of God, and he was trying to move it back to the city of David. And I was just studying that and just looking at that process and trying to see, like, okay, God, what does this mean for me? What are you saying for us as these advancers? And what is it that you're saying even in regards to the body of Christ and at this time that we are at? So I'm going to do a little skipping round this morning in the reading. But as I was reading this, typically when I study, there are certain words and phrases that may stand out to me. So I'll kind of go over that and then kind of share what God had given me. If you guys see me looking over here to the left, it's because that Bible that I told you guys that I had since high school is like right here. Okay. So I'm doing and looking over here and reading the Word of God. And it's, so that's why I'm looking over here. But it'll be coming from 2 Samuel, the 6th chapter, and it will be reading it out of the New Living Translation. And it basically says that then David again gathered all the elite troops in Israel, 30,000 in all. He led them to Bethel of Judah to bring back the ark of God, which bear the name of the Lord of Heaven's army, which is enthroned between the cherubim. They placed the ark of God on a new cart and brought it to Abinadab's house, which was on a hill. Uzzah and Ohio, Abinadab's sons, were guiding the cart as it left the house, carrying the ark of God. Ohio walked in front of the ark. Verse 5 says, David and all of the people of Israel was celebrating before the Lord, singing songs and playing all kinds of musical instruments, the larp, the harp, the tambourine, the cymbals. And verse 6 says, but when they arrived at the threshing floor of Nacon, the ox stumbled, and Uzziah reached out his hand and steadied the ark of God. And then in verse 7, it says, then the Lord's anger arose against Uzziah, and God struck him dead because of this. So Uzziah died right there beside the Lord's ark. And then verse 8 says, and David was angry because the Lord's anger had burst out against Uzziah. He named this place Perez Uzziah, which means burst out against Uzziah. And it is still called that today. So when I read this, one of the things that kind of stood out to me when we look at this in verse 1, David is getting some of his best men's, right? And this whole thing of wanting to move the ark of God came from David's desire to want to bring back, the presence of God, because it hasn't been in, Israel since the days of Saul. So now he wants to bring back this ark, so that the people of Israel can have what they were believing to be like the tangible presence of God. So we're here in verse 6 because David had this godly desire to do something what appeared to be good to him and to be good for the people of Israel. But we start seeing their process of assuming they knew the way, and how that ended up causing them to have some unnecessary casualties because they did not follow the pathway of the Lord. Um, One of the first things is it talks about this in verses 2, I believe. No, verse 3, it says they placed the ark of God on a new cart and brought it from Abinadab's house, right? So the first thing that the Lord highlighted was this word of a new cart. And I started doing some study and looking back in scripture about the instructions that God had gave when the ark was being built. And one of the things that it talks about in Exodus 25 in verse 12 through 15, God gave this commandment that the ark of God was supposed to be carried by the Levites on these poles, right? And some of the commentaries were saying that the whole purpose of God doing that was so that the Levites would carry the burden of the Lord, which was supposed to be like represented in this art, right? And God intentionally wanted them to manually carry it and not to put it on this new cart. However, the children of Israel saw from the Philistines when it was taken away, when the ark of God was taken away, that the Philistines used a cart. So they are becoming innovative. They are just saying, well, hey, instead of us carrying it, let's just, be innovative. Let's be creative, and let's just put it on the cart like the Philistines people did, right? Because when the Philistines did that, God didn't strike them dead. But one of the things that we have to realize is that the children of the Philistines were not believers, or they did not profess to claim God as their God. The children of Israel had this commandment from God of how things should be done and how things should be carried out, especially something as tangible as his presence, right? So what we see here is they have already started creating them a new cart. They started creating them a new cart, and that was already the one mistake, right? The other thing that stood out to me when I was reading this was talking about the importance of names, right? So you have Uzziah and you have Ohio. Uh, and I'm saying Ohio, but it's Ahio. So let me just clarify that, right? So Uzziah means strength. And then the Ohio means like friendly, right? It means a friendly or brotherly from some of the commentaries. And one of the other things that the Lord was really highlighting to me is that there was strength, and then there was this friendly, brotherly image that was leading. And one of the things that we see within scripture is that Ahio was the one that got in front of the ark, right? So one of the things that the Lord was just telling me is that while they're doing this whole Glen celebration, you have Ohio, which is leading, which has this friendly image, right? According to the culture, that what we are doing is right. So he has now gotten in front of the presence of the Lord, right? And he is representing everything like this image of what the culture is deeming important, right? And then we see this with Uzziah, that his name means strength. And one of the things, as I was looking at, when we look at this in particular in scripture, Uzziah was the one that God struck dead. And that was because of him and his assuming of roles. So one of the things that we look at is There was, within scripture, we see with Uzziah, there was an error in his thinking. He was assuming that he was the one to do this because the ark of God was at their father's house, Abimelech's house. So now he is going to override God's command for the Levite to be the one that carry the ark of God, because of something that was familiar to him because it was at his father's house. So one of the things in studying the error in his thinking, it caused him to think that it did not matter who carried the ark of God. Had him thinking that it didn't matter how the ark was carried. And it caused him to assume, because of the closeness of the ark being at his father's house, that he knew how to steward the presence of God, right? And one of the things that we also see is that he also, in his thinking, thought that God needed his help. So that's when Uzziah basically was able to reach out in his own strength to try to keep the ark of God from falling, right? And when I was looking at this, and when I was thinking about like all of these things that the Lord was highlighting in this whole process of getting the ark to the city of David, I began to ask God, like, what does this mean? What is this meaning? And he was saying that there is specific pathways and patterns in which he wants us to follow his will and his way. Sometimes, though, we just in our own human nature, like Uzziah in Ohio, they assume they knew what to do. They assume that if they do this big show, very lavish, like David had, he had 30,000 of his elite soldiers. There was music, there was dancing, there was all of this big celebration. And even the people themselves was in a celebratory state. But even in the midst of that, God was still not pleased. And one of the things that really just stood out to me was that although this noise was a grand production and the people were singing praises to the people about, hey, you did a great job, this is great, and this is wonderful, God was still not happy. So I thought about this in regards to our life. Granted, we're not moving, the ark of God. We're not, we're not carrying things on carts, right? But when we think about this in our present day and time, God has specifically designed for us pathways in which he wants us to follow to be our full manifested self, as be like we're talking about last week about becoming the sons of God. God has designed specific pathways in which he wants us to follow so that we can be everything that he has called us to be. Sometimes, just like with Uzziah, with David, and with Ahio, there is this pressure from culture, from people, from other people for us to do it another way. And sometimes what we will end up doing is we would be like taking on other people's pathways, other people's methods, other people's ways of doing things, and claiming it as our own. And as a result of that, we are forsaking the pathway that God has for us. What we also see with this in this, when we look at this in the second part of 2 Samuel, starting around verses number 6, and when we look at it through 9 through verses 15, we see that once David consulted God, once David began to seek God about how to move the presence of God back to his house, that's when we saw that the blessings of the Lord followed it. And before David was able to get it back to the city of David, it talks about how it went to Obed-Edom's house and how the blessings of the Lord was there, right? And then when we think about this and we're looking at this in our own personal life, we can see, and these are the 2 points that God pointed out to me. The blessings of God follows his pathway. There's no need for us to inquire or incur unnecessary deaths, unnecessary losses, unnecessary pain and suffering, because we have assumed he has a pathway for us to follow. The other thing is is that one of the things that I wrote down as well, acknowledging of his pathway for us. So one of the things that is when we think about this, even us as advancers, and right now we're in this space of trading, we don't want to assume that this, when I say this way or this strategy or this pair or this indice is the end all and be all for our life, right? Because God may have a different pathway for us, a different strategy. If some of you guys are like me, you're a swinger trying to be converted to like, a scapper. And I personally thought that swinging was my pathway of wealth, right? It was the way that I was going to be able to get this generational wealth, right? But when it was a pivot and when it required me to pivot, I even too, just like Uzziah in Ohio, I wanted to assume that I knew the way, and that this pivot that God was telling me to do now, looking into becoming a scapper, wasn't the way, right? So when I think about this in general, on how does this relate to us, and what is it that we should focus on in this I guess moment, is that with this ark of God, it represented the tangible presence of God and being in one with him. Even in our life as advancers, we have to ask ourselves, what does oneness with God looks like for us in this season? What is the instructions of God that we are to uphold, just like it was with the Ark of the Covenant? What is it that we need to do to follow that, to be able to steward the presence of God for our life, and to ensure that we have the blessings of the Lord? And then this is also too a reminder of making sure, just like when it comes to Uzziah and Ohio, them, that we don't have any open doors in our life for the enemy to come in, right? We don't have the open doors because we're trying to do things in our own strength, where we don't have the open door because we're allowing our need to be seen in a certain image, just like David them did, to cause to be what is leading us. Because even with Ohio, when he got in front of the ark, that represented the plazas of man, that represented the culture, that represented, something else besides the Spirit of God leading us. So as we're thinking about this in our own personal life and about being in oneness with God, we have to make sure we don't fall in those pitfalls as they did, in causing what the culture say to be our praise or to be our approval, but that, and also too, that we don't get in front of the presence of God. I mean, you have the presence of God, you have the ark of God, and Ohio's like, I need to lead this. I need to be in front of God, right? So we also have to make sure that we're walking in sync with God, and that God is leading, and that we are not allowing our flesh to get in front of God. Something else is that we also have to make sure that we are not doing this in our own strength, right? I always like to think, and I always hear people say, like, if God gives you a vision and you're able to do it, if you have the money in the bank, if you have the team, if you got the strength, and if you got the knowledge, you might need to go back and dream bigger, because maybe that's not God. God is always going to like give you a vision that is going to take him in order for you to be able to accomplish that. So we want to also make sure that that open door for the enemy to come in to attack us isn't coming in because we are relying on our own strength, that we are relying and we're applauding and getting the applauses of, the culture, and that we are not assuming roles. That was something that was really big, because Uzziah in Ohio, they assumed that because the ark of God was at their father's house, right, that they were the one that was supposed to carry this. They were the one that was supposed to handle this transition of moving the ark of God back to the city of David. And a lot of times when we assume that road, that when we assume these roads, it causes us to have an open door. So one of the things that I'm going to pray today is that as God is setting us up for this generational wealth, that as God is going to use us so greatly and mighty to advance his kingdom in this trading space and in other areas of our life, that we will not fall to the pitfalls of assumption. We won't fall to the pitfalls of our pride. We won't fall to the pitfalls of our own strength. And we won't fall to the pitfalls of trying to get before God and lead him and get in the way of, get before God, but that we will really walk in sync with God so that we can receive the blessings of the Lord. And as I mentioned earlier, the blessings of God follows his pathway. The blessings of God is able to come in, and wherever we are in the will of God, if that means that we're in a fire, even as I was talking on yesterday, if we are experiencing warfare, if we're experiencing attacks against our body, being in the will of God is the safest place. Even in the fire, God will come. Even in the sickness, God will come. Even, on the mountain, he will come. Even in the valley, he will come as we are in his will. And no matter how it may look or how it may feel, there's protection in being in the will of God. And that's one of the things that I'm going to pray, is that regardless of wherever that will of God may be, it may be an uncomfortable place. Some of us may be in transitions right now. Some of us may be dealing with so many different warfares on so many different levels. But even in that, I would rather be in the midst of a fire and be in the midst of warfare with God than to be on top of a mountain living living the finer things in life, you know what I mean, and not have God. And what we see within scripture is they were attempting to do everything that gave them the appearance that God was pleased and that they were in the will of God. But God striking Uzziah showed that they were not. And I know for me in my own personal life, and I can imagine for you guys as well, I don't want to have to bear the casualties of losing missed moments, missed times, or missed moments, or causing things in my life to dry up because I was not obedient to the voice of God. And there's some things in life when you follow the voice of God, you don't have unnecessary death. Uzziah's, when I read this, I see that his life could have been spared. He didn't have to die if he would have just followed the pathway of God instead of assuming it, right? So I know that may be a hard word this morning and something for us to kind of plunder about, but just, we can breathe. We okay. We walking with God. We following, right? You know what I'm saying? We're following the Lord. We're going to get the blessings of the Lord. So I know it was kind of a little heavy, but just know that God is always gracious, and to let us know that expansion is coming. And as we begin to grow and expand, we just got to be reminded to stick to his blueprint, stick to his pathway. So I know I've been on and talking. I only had a little matcha today, so my brain is still trying to wake up. But I'm going to go ahead and close us out in prayer, and then I'll turn it back over to you, Tim. So Father God, we just want to thank you for your sovereignty. We want to thank you for you being El Elyon. You're the ruler. You are, Father God, the God above all gods. There is no other force. There's no other principality that is greater than you. And because we realize the strategicness of you and even how you have created, Father God, the heavens and the earth, and we're still here today to be a testament of how the boundaries of the water are still staying in the place, how the mountains are still staying in place, how the seasons and the times are still obeying your command. We realize that, God, you are strategic in everything that you do, that you have a specific way of how you want the order of God to be manifested in our life, to be manifested in our families, and to be manifested in the world in which we live in. So today, God, we come into partnership. We surrender our will to your will, and letting you know we are coming into partnership with the order of God for our life. We're thanking you for the forgiveness and the repentance of our heart, that if we've ever assumed a way, if we've ever made a step or went into a pathway where we have not consulted you, we're thanking you that you will allow us to be in that place of reverence and honor to you, that we will seek you in all things. We will ask for your guidance in all things, Father God. In our hearts, we'll receive your response, that if your answer is no, we will be obeyed. We will still obey. If your answer is not now, we will still wait and obey. And if your answer is yes and go forward, we will do that regardless of what our fear and what our limitations may be telling us. So we this morning, God, just want to come to a place of total surrendering to you, and that you will empower us, Father God, with that exousias power to do it your way. You have created this blueprint for our life. Let us follow it every way that you have created it. And I pray for every advancer out there that are needing clarity, that's needing direction, that's needing you to realign some things in their life, that you will begin, Father God, to put them in total alignment with you and alignment with your vision, that if there's resources that are needed, that you will allow the winds to begin to blow in, the south wind, the east wind, and the west wind to begin to blow in those resources that is needed, to begin to blow in those divine connections that is needed. But we're also thanking you for that wind of God, the beginning to blow away those things in our life that we have built, that we are maybe thinking about pursuing, that is not of you, that you know that this is going to cause an unnecessary casualty to our life, to our family, and to our bloodline. So we're thanking you, Father God, for your clarity, for your direction. And we're thanking you that as our hearts yield to your way, Father God, that you would get the glory in everything that we do. We're thanking you for this. In your son, Jesus' name, we pray. Amen and amen.
Keisha, you came in hot this morning. Came in hot. We appreciate that word. Definitely appreciate that word. Sitting there chewing on it already. We definitely want to be led by the Spirit of God and not the other way around. We don't want to step in front, but we let Him lead. So definitely awesome word. That matcha did you good this morning. Matcha had you connected in the spirit this morning. So awesome word. Definitely awesome word this morning. We appreciate you. I know other people have received as well this morning. So definitely appreciate it for sure. Letting the Lord use you. Prophetess. Prophetess Lakeisha.
I'm just Lakeisha, Morning Bonnet Queen.
The bonnet prophetess. That's what I'm gonna do. That is it. We got the bonnet queen, but you just walked and stepped in the bonnet prophetess. Yeah, I love it, man. We get such rich word in our devotions, and it's not surface level words. It's things that we can apply and use in our lives. So, I appreciate you being a open and yield vessel. Awesome. Well, good morning, advancers. Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing? How y'all doing this morning? Lakeisha, how you doing? How you feeling this morning after delivering that word? How you feeling this morning?
I feel great. I have my matcha. I see I got my hair done. I'm feeling Puerto Rican this morning. I'm living my best life.
Now Puerto Rican this morning. Okay.
I'm ready.
She is ready this morning. Okay, all right. I love it. We got Lakeisha on here, but we got a few other people that are just lurking. They're sitting there waiting to come on stage. They're ready to go this morning. I feel the excitement already this morning. So we're gonna bring some of our analysts up and just check on them. Let's see how they're doing. First up, we got Mr. Tim, the man, Campbell. Let's bring him on stage. How you doing, Tim?
What's going down? That was a good word this morning. That was a good word this morning. I appreciate that word. When you were talking, I was writing down some things, and what I heard was, don't take God's presence for granted. And don't take God's presence for granted. When Uzziah touched the ark, they didn't know how fierce God was. They must have forgot who God was. And sometimes you can be walking with God so long that you forget who he is. Yeah. You know, and then Uzziah, when he began to bless Uzziah's house, you forget that God is in the blessing business. So you see him do that. You see him do that fierce work, but then you also got to remember that he blesses too. And I appreciate the word, just not to get in front of God's presence. Let him lead the path. Just follow. And you know, that's a reminder. It was heavy, but it was also a reminder. It was a reminder at the same time that as we grow this community and as we launch, that we don't get distracted by the crowd, that we don't look for the numbers and get distracted off of God's plan, that we continue to remember that God is the one leading us, and that if we follow him, then we'll reap the blessing. If we go against him or we try to do it in our own strength, that's when we get the horns. That's when we get the fierceness of God, and that's a side that we don't want to see. There's this meme on social media that I was talking with. It's lightning striking a mountain, and with the fire and all that stuff. And I was like, that's why Israel was like, Moses, you go talk to him. We don't want to talk to him. You know, it was just fierce. And I was like, I don't want to see that side of God. I know God has that side. I just don't want to see it. So just stay in the will of God. So excellent word this morning. Excellent word.
And God definitely has that. But it's just like a good parent. Like, yeah. Sometimes you need that to shut up. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
That is awesome. But we got another analyzer that's just sitting, waiting. He's ready. We call him the Viking tradesman. Y'all know him as Billy. I know him as Willie. Bring him on up to the stage.
Morning, everybody.
It's the Billy.
How y'all doing? Yeah, I'm you know, it's a new day, new opportunities. Let's make something happen.
Yes.
Well, I say that it's kind of the wrong thing to say, because with the charts, you can't really make anything happen. All you can do is, just, pray that you have the wisdom to see the market properly so that you can catch the ride.
Yeah.
So
that's
maybe
good.
I should say, let's catch the ride this morning.
I like that, Billy.
That's right.
I like that, Billy. That's so true. It's definitely true. If we going out there trying to make something happen, that's typically when all of our trades go the wrong way.
Don't learn today.
Yeah. The charts will.
Billy, I think you said something. Was it you? I think you said something like, when you want to play, the market's going to make you pay.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you play around, you don't stick to rules, not following your strategy. So many different things can happen, and it's just interesting too that your timing in the market has a big play in it. You hit that buy or sell button, and there's a million different scenarios, million different ways that you can play it, and it's so easy to allow the market to take your money, but then you catch it the right way, you stay calm, confident, stick to your rules and everything, you can make the money. So it's very psychological, and what's interesting to me too is it's so different than anything that I've done in my life before. I've been a very hands-on person, working in construction, cell towers, HVAC, and all that. And that's where, you know, you can go out and make something happen. You know, you can go fix something, you can build something, things like that, and, you know, to make your money. So here sometimes it's that sit and wait game. And it's hard to wrap your head around that sometimes by sitting and waiting, you will actually be better off than if you try to make something happen. And it's just a totally different concept.
Absolutely. No, that's 100%.
Yeah, that patience game. Literally, the Lord will work patience in you. Like,
I think this is a call for Dr. Ann. We need a patience session, right?
Right.
We're gonna keep her busy all year. We need everything.
Here we are.
Tim, I saw you were very patient yesterday, and you ended up trading last night.
I can't wait. I can't wait to show this chart. Oh, yeah, it's so good. Oh, we're
gonna have to talk about that one.
Man, I'm telling you, we'll talk about it. We have a discussion. We'll talk about it. I'm gonna save it because it's meaty. It's meaty. Oh, I can't wait.
No, awesome.
I can't wait to hear it now.
We got somebody else that's just sitting, lurking, waiting. She's ready. She's from Minnesota, but down in the Texas.
She got the right background too. She got the right background.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I'm still in that background because I love it. We got Miss Tisha in the building this morning. How you doing, Tisha?
Tisha.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Great word this morning, Dr. Lakeisha.
Yeah.
Yes. How you feeling this morning, Tisha? I love the background.
Thank you. I'll share. You guys I took it from Tim's page, so. But I'm feeling awesome. What was that, Terry?
I said, you little thief? No, I'm joking. No.
I borrowed.
It worked out.
I'm feeling great today. I'm excited. I started a new challenge, and so I'm excited. I'm ready. Yeah.
Is this a workout challenge?
Not a workout challenge. That's on a different scale. But you're more than welcome to join us.
I wanted to do it, but I gotta eat and take snack breaks. I saw it, but I just was like, I don't know, but I want to.
We need some more men. So sorry, side notes, but we need to get some more men.
When I recover, Tanya was doing it, and I saw it. I watched. I supported. I was like, good job. That was the extent of my involvement at this time. But when I recover, then I'm in.
But I traded my workouts for trading in the morning, so I'm here.
That's a sacrifice. Sacrifice. Yeah. So have you moved it to another time then?
Yes, but now I do it in the evening now. Instead of I used to do it in the mornings before I started work, but now I trade before I start work and then work out in the evenings.
Oh, okay, nice. I saw the hubby with you and the niece with you.
Yes, and he's still sore.
That's all right. Y'all was working out.
Yeah, that means he did it right.
Right. Right.
Tisha, I'll join in.
Yay! Yes.
You know, make sure you're ready. You need
all kinds of assignments.
You need to have a beginner class. Join the beginner class.
There's no beginner class.
No, that wasn't a beginner class. The way y'all was going.
Tanya got it in. I see your wife in the comments. She's faithful in everything she does.
Oh yeah, she got it in.
Yeah,
I watched.
I'm ready to get it in. I'm out of shape. I'm old. I'm fat. You know, I don't want to stay like this anymore.
Join the club, dog. Join the club.
It's about working out the heart. We have to work the heart out. For longevity, for the assignment that the Lord has called us to.
That's
exactly.
True.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yes,
Since you put it that way.
And if I lose a few pounds, or when I lose a few pounds, hey, that's added benefit.
An added blessing. Yes.
That's right. Yeah, I think Tara should join. Now that you put it that
way, I think. Wow. Sorry. Sorry. Hey Tim, when you recover, hey, you gotta join too.
I'm looking forward to it. I've been down for so long. I'm looking forward to just being able to walk straight.
Yeah.
We'll give you some chair exercises, Tim, to start off with.
Yeah. No, that's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Well, we got a few people in the chat this morning.
Yeah, I see chat going. They representing out there.
We're active. It looks like we got Mr. Corey Davis in the building.
Corey.
We got Kamika in the building holding it down. We got Dr. Ann there this morning. How you doing, Dr. Ann?
Yeah.
We got Jeremy. Jeremy's holding it down. Yes. Dr. Tora.
Advancers in the building.
Yeah, we coming through strong this morning. Looks like I see Joy Brown. I see Marika in there. Mike is there again this morning.
Mike's on a roll.
Michael Looney, boy.
Let me find out he's in the challenge.
I know. We got to chat. Let's see where you at. We got the other scalping queen or the trading mom or the day trading mom, Nedra, is in the chat this morning.
Yeah, she'll be on tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't wait. For her insight.
Yeah.
Who else we got?
Oh, Michael said he's in the challenge.
Right.
Okay.
Like, tell me, man.
Nice.
I think Michael's doing one of 10 numbers. He's gonna move, make the move, and then tell us later.
Michael's probably about past this challenge, and he just ain't said nothing to nobody.
Right.
Come on, Mike.
Tell the folks. Testify.
Yeah. We got definitely Tanya Campbell is holding it down. She always
Wifey's in the building. Now that's funny. What's today? Today's Tuesday. See, she left her unleashed call. She got some prayer call in the morning, and she left it just to be on our call. Isn't that something? I think she's multitasking though. I think she's on both.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's dedication though. That's
she may be on both.
Get you one of those. If you look at you need one of those, a wife that's gonna do her other stuff and still be there to support you. There we go.
Yep. She said it. I'm on both. Kinda.
There we go.
In her office on her call.
We got Sherry in the building this morning as well. How we doing, Sherry?
Yeah. I'm excited that everybody's joining us in the morning. How do you all feel about this change? We've been beaten behind the scenes, and this is the first time we came in public. You know, we've been behind the scenes for about a year and some change, and now we're in public. How do you all feel about that? You know, we got to hear from you. We want some feedback. We want some support. And also make sure you like and subscribe. I got to plug that in. We want to grow. We want to spread what we got going in this kingdom movement and this God move.
Speaking of that, where are we with subscribers right now? Keep telling.
I actually just looked because I was curious, and we got 92 subscribers.
90?
I love it.
92.
I love it.
We right.
You know,
there.
it's funny because I try not to pay attention to that too much, but I check it as well. But I saw the two young men come in yesterday. It's just funny. I saw them come in yesterday. Two young guys came in, and I love that we're even reaching a younger demographic. So excited about that.
That probably was my nephew. I harassed him.
Was it?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw him come in. Yeah, I love it.
Evangelist and Keisha out there doing the work.
Definitely an evangelist. If you heard about this from Dr. Lakeisha, raise your hand. I'm sure a lot of folks will raise their hand in the chat. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Well, glad to have all of our subscribers, all of our members there this morning. We're ready to go. Tim, you ready to go this morning?
I'm ready, man. You know, I'm ready. I'm excited to tell you all about last night, and you know, because since all of y'all left me to the scalping team and left me by myself in intraday plays, I'm excited to talk to y'all about that. So
okay.
Let's
Okay,
get
I'm
going.
excited to hear about it.
Let's
Cool.
get going.
Cool. Well, we're switching over to our headline. Mr. Tim, I'm going to turn it over to you. Take it away, sir.
Yeah. So this morning for headline news, we got not a lot going on in the market. If you were on the call yesterday, what you saw was a very low volume, low momentum market. Markets that we really don't like to trade too much, but that's because there's no drivers in the news that's pushing the market this morning. And so we're going to get a continuation of that today. I'm going to share my screen here. And did y'all see the voice switch? I switched over to my news anchor voice. I'm going to switch over to my screen here. See, that's a news anchor voice. And there's something about when headliners come in that I switched to a news anchor. I'm not sure why, but I just noticed it. It's like, you sound a little different. See, I sound professional, but news anchor voice. So there is no news right now driving the markets, and that's when you're going to get a lot of the low volatility that we saw yesterday, because smart investors are waiting on the sidelines for the drivers to come in to push it in the direction that it needs to go. DXY is consolidating currently. That's the dollar strength indicator. It's just moving sideways, up and down. We're right now in the middle of a range. We hop back into a range and right now in the middle. So we're trying to see if DXY is going to break 105 and go higher, or is it going to come lower? But as you can see on Forex Factory, there's no red folder news today. The closest we have is this 10-year bond auction that is coming up tomorrow. And we have CAD IV PMI today. Neither one are going to be huge drivers for news. Yesterday, again, no red folder news. So there's no economic indicators that is going to drive price. So we may see that low volatility again today. It's important to stay patient. Sometimes it makes for boring trading, but sustainability over time is going to be boring. You got to know when to go to the sidelines and when to come out and play. This week, it's a time to go to the sidelines until we get economic news. Be smart like the rest of the investors and wait for the proper setup. When the volume comes in, then you can move. When the volume's not there, we don't want to move. Things to pay attention to for today. We did get AUD rate hike decision. So if you want to look at Aussie futures, we may get some movement there as that goes up against the dollar. That may be an important one to look at. Outside of that, we're just going to trade technicals today. Going into tomorrow, we'll look at crude oil inventories. That'll be an important move for this week. And then Thursday, we'll get some pound future news with their rate hike decision. And then we'll get the 30-year bond auction. We talked about the 30-year bond yield as it's compared to the short term and the long term. It's how the future, what the market is projecting for the future versus what they're projecting in the short term. So that yield curve is going to be important for the dollar as well. As always, we're going to play off of these dollar strength movements. The whole market is moving off of dollar strength, and we really don't get that red folder news until Friday morning. So preserve that capital, be conservative this week as we head into a low volume day. And that is today's headline news, everyone. Headline news.
Yeah. Awesome.
How was that?
That was good.
You see the voice change? You see the voice change?
I caught it. I think we all caught it. So switched it on up.
There's something about when that news segment comes on, man. It's I instantly, for some reason, just an automatic switch.
Go that way. Hey, listen, everybody can't do that. That's a gift.
It's a gift. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. I think I missed my calling.
Yeah.
In that.
No, you're walking in the
news anchor. I'm walking in it. See?
There we go.
You might not come when you want. No, I'm saying.
But you are walking in it. No, awesome. Biggest thing is, I think I saw even Tisha put it in Stay patient. Stay patient today with trading. We're trading technicals. There's nothing to really push. And so it's probably going to be another low volume day. Kind of like we saw yesterday. I hated yesterday personally.
That's why I was trading tonight. It was just a low volume, no movement type day, just going back and forth. You could trade the ranges, but it just makes for some inconsistent type setups.
Yeah, even with trading the ranges, like trades that would normally be 5 minutes, we're taking a lot longer because no volume. So I can take or leave those kind of days. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Cool. Appreciate the news. Hey, y'all know what time it is.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what time it is.
Well, make sure. Oh, let me do this. Let me do
Go
this.
Ahead, Tim. Go ahead. Switched it up on me. I'm gonna say that's not what time it is. This is what time it is right now. We got our disclaimer. We're always gonna put this up there for you. This time I'm not gonna read it. I'm gonna let you sit there and read because reading is fundamental. Did y'all know that?
Yeah.
Reading is fundamental. Please read this disclaimer. We're gonna give you a good 15 to 20 seconds. Go ahead. Take your time.
It's that elementary school skills that are coming into play, right?
Yeah, you gotta use them. Gotta use them. If it's a big word, sound it out. Just break it up, sound it out. The biggest thing the disclaimer is telling you is do your own research. We are charting. We're teaching you how to chart, teaching you how to trade, but you hold a responsibility. So definitely do your own research. Place to trade at your own risk.
We are not responsible.
Nope, I'm not.
All right. No, I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna be. Got lawyers on deck.
Hey Tim, I partially hold you responsible yesterday for convincing me to get out that trade. That would have been
I'm risk averse. I'm risk averse. I'm trying to look out, and every now and then, it may mess up. It may not work in your favor, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it on this next segment.
Awesome. Well, we're switching to our next segment. Now y'all really know what time it is. Into our red zone. If you're ready, just put one of these up for me.
Red zone, here we go. Oh, that's not the red zone. Here you go. This is red zone. Yeah,
I am curious to know what Tim's talking about here. He's all excited this morning. I gotta know.
Made a little bit of money yesterday, Mr. Billy. I made a bit of money.
There you go.
I gotta get excited about it. Yeah. It was profit. It was a little bit of profit. Now let me straighten up my necktie. It was a little bit of profit made yesterday, and I'm willing to talk to you all about it.
We're gonna let you go first, Tim, because we're ready.
Certainly, I could barely sleep thinking about this trade.
I could see the smile on from ear to ear, man.
But you know what it is? All you scalpers out there have been talking about me. You've been talking about me. You wanted to put your little one-to-ones in there, Nedra and Dr. Denise. You made everybody leave my team to go to the scalping, and so I just want to show you, what my team is doing out here, waiting for the right setups. If I could share my screen here.
Too excited, Tim. You're too excited about this.
Oh yeah, you gotta be. You gotta find something in life to get excited about. But let me just show you this trade. I want to go down. I should go down to like the 10-second chart just to show you every little movement that happened here. No, this is the trade that I did yesterday on Nikkei futures. Nikkei futures, and Dr. Lakeisha don't try to come back to this team. You know, you left the team. You cannot come back now. But I want to show you this trade. And I want to show you this on a 30-minute time frame. Nedra, I see you laughing in the chat. This is my payback. Every now and then, you get some payback. But no, I love it. Little friendly competition between the scalp strategy or between the trading strategies. So this was a 30-minute shark fin right here. Price had sold off. There was this short auction that came, and the shark fin began to form. And when it began to turn up, the TDI barely moved. It was a great move. It was a divergent move from off of this support level that was forming here. And so I timed it perfectly. I waited for the candle to close. And as this one began to push up, that shark fin barely moved. I said, oh, this is a perfect opportunity to get in. Didn't need a lot of validation, but it was a support level. We've sold off. We've been on this bullish run, and we had a significant sell-off since this bullish run. And so this sell down didn't scare me, this level not being broke. And we got the double touch on that next candle opened up. I entered in with one of Billy's scalp moves. Went down to the lower time frame and timed the double tap perfectly. The price went up, and remember, we do this trade all the time on these morning calls. Is that price pushes up, it comes down and goes lower. We take that green candle that pushes it down. We use that as a liquidity zone, and we wait for price to push up. As soon as this gravestone candle came up, I entered in off of that candle, entered in there, and held it all the way up to daily VWAP. Put a lot of risk on Nikkei. This is a E-mini. I had, I think, 4 contracts on that one. So it was a couple thousand gained here, but my target was up for the retest of old support that turned resistant. And price pushed up there and went a little bit further, hit my initial TP. And that was the trade based off of a beautiful 30-minute shark fin play that was divergent. And if you look at this, it is a 1 to 10 risk reward. I risked very little to gain a whole lot. And I just want, this doesn't happen all the time, but just for a few seconds, can we just throw this in the scalper's face just for a few seconds? We don't oftentimes get to do this, but I just want to leave this screen up so that I can have one up on Nedra and Dr. Denise and Dr. Lakeisha, who flips sides on me. I just want to let you know that this strategy, this 1 to 10 strategy, you have to do your strategy 10 times to get this. And I just want to put that out there. All right, I digress.
You know, especially for a day like yesterday too, when there wasn't a lot of movement. I mean, like, you know, things ranged sideways, so that was an awesome move.
Listen, part that you didn't tell is what time did you?
Listen, none of that is. You're talking about details. You're in the woods. None of that is relevant.
So these details are very, very important, and they're important for a couple of reasons.
You know, I was up a little late yesterday looking for the move. You know, but you know, it was. I didn't have anything to do. The house was quiet. It was settled. It was a little bit past my bedtime. But I got on. I just wanted to look at it. So, you know. So, thank you, Tisha. So
the
first part of the question.
The way you operated yesterday, you couldn't find your setup, you know, during the day. We know the market was sideways, didn't have enough volume, but Tim was patient. And so that's a word right there. He was patient. He got back on the chart last night. It was night. It was a afternoon night trade. It was out of character for me. It was out of character. It threw me off when I saw it. I'm just like, oh, Tim.
I posted in Discord. They're like, nobody responded. I think Mia was the only one up. Yeah, she was the only one that responded. I was like, everybody, get ready for bed.
Yeah, what's funny though is right around the time you posted it, like I was sitting here doing nothing, and I said to myself, I think I'm gonna just pull my laptop up and actually look for a trade. I didn't do it, and see, this is where you should be led by the Spirit of God, because if I would have done it, I would have looked at this. Like, there's only certain things that
I posted it. So I posted it with because it was still time for people to get in. So I don't like to post stuff after the fact. I like to post it to give everybody opportunity. So this one was my targets were a lot longer, and it was just the start of the move. So it was still time to get in on this one. We were just passing this liquidity zone here. I don't even think we were past it when I posted. So there was still time to get in on it.
Yeah, so I could have made my 5,000 that I missed out on yesterday off of this trade. Okay.
I see. I tried to repay it. I tried to repay it to you, and you just wasn't up.
I missed it. It's okay. But one point I want to make is this was later in the day, and so for those that say, hey, well, I'm busy during the day, I can't trade during the day. There is volume in the market a lot of times in the afternoon. It's not going to be with every instrument, but this is the Nikkei. There's volume there. Oil will have volume. I think I've even seen US 30 later on in the afternoon have some volume. So if you're tied up during the day, you can still trade later.
Look, I got to bring up the comments that support my theory. See if I can get some of y'all back on my team again, since all of y'all wanted to leave to the, so what? Nedra has like 600,000 in prop firm capital, and getting payouts, and Dr. Denise has, so many hundred thousands of dollars in prop firm capital. Some of you can get back on the team. There's still room. There's still room.
He's taking more than y'all. He's taking real shots.
Well, neither of them are on, so
I know.
Their strategy cannot be defended. So that's the best time. That's the best time to get them. Neither one of them. They're still in the room. Dr. Lakeisha said they're still in the room. Listen, but you're not on the platform. Dr. Lakeisha's in the green room though. So
Yeah, Nedra, I can't wait to hear your response tomorrow, Nedra. You got to come with it. Preferably Denise will be on tomorrow as well, hopefully, because I got to hear that. Y'all got to respond to this. You can't just let this slide. You can't.
I got to wait for them to leave. See, they both probably made their profits for the day while I'm talking.
Yes, they're probably done.
Like, listen, I already made my couple thousand this morning while you talking about yours.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's funny. No, that's awesome. Good trade though. Really, really good trade setup. It's a repeatable play.
Yeah, you see this all the time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome. Yeah.
But today it looks like we're trading in this range that we've been in for a while. Get rid of all of this stuff. We're still in this rate. Well, we broke out, so we've created a different. When I say ranges, we have a few different ones. So this was the original range here that was created. So we were ranging here. We broke out of that range, and all we did was move down to the range below, right in between the range that we created below, which is old support, turn resistance here. We just came off of that support yesterday. And are now currently, this area has acted as support, climbed on top of 105, and so now this is the middle of this range that we're in right now. So when we talk about no direction, even though we sold off, we have no direction on what DXY is going to do, and we don't have any news drivers to tell us which way it's going to go. So we're going to strictly be on technicals this morning. That's the only way that we're going to be able to fly. And a pilot's license to fly these single propeller planes, but it's the license is limited, and so I haven't passed the test to fly blind yet. But it's called a VR. Visual restrictions, and so I have to be able to see like 5 miles or a couple miles ahead. So I can't fly in the clouds, I can't fly blind, and different things. But those that do fly blind, they use their instruments, their instrument panel to fly. They don't visually see it, but they use their instrument panel. And that's kind of what today's going to be like. We're going to be flying blind, so we're going to have to use the instrument panel to tell us when a level is exhausted, because we're really not going to see it from a visual standpoint today. It's just going to be our TDI, our VWAP, and different things that's going to show us where price is going or what is fair value. So that'll be interesting today. But one setup I think we're going to have a move on. And Billy, I don't know if you looked at platinum, but I'm going to talk about gold. Because I think both have our opportunities. And I don't know if Mia's in the chat. When Mia was pointing out silver yesterday, but I said silver and gold is selling off. And that's what it did through the night, off of this old support level that turned into resistance. So this is what we're selling off of currently in gold, but we're coming down to some pretty key levels with the indicator. So I think we may have some buy opportunities. I don't think we're there yet, but I think we are coming up to this buy opportunity, and on gold that we've bought off before. So this trend line we bought off before that has produced highs to the upside of this trend, and so we're coming back down to that 1 hour 800, which I believe, the 4 hour 200 that we're coming down to, and we're going to get kind of divergent here if the TDI falls a little faster, and you can see how low the hour is getting. But when you start jumping to the lower time frames, we're already in that shark fin divergent territory where we're starting to get those rejections. And so as this pushes lower, I think we're just bouncing off of this 50 and coming lower, and then this would be the area to buy off to the high. And so I think this is going to set up, whether it happens today or possibly tonight. I think you're going to get another one of those longer risk reward type plays that's going to set up. Once price gets down here, it's going to inch its way down here, find fair value at 2,300, and that number should, that 2,300, 2,310 should ring a bell, because we've been trading that number throughout here to the upside. So as we push down a little bit further, I think we're going to find some buys. Up until then, you could trade this trend off the 50 back down into sales, back down to that range. So I think that's something that we'll watch. I'm going to keep going back and forth on this one to see if it's ready. Yeah, and this one, scalping standpoint, because it is just rejecting off of creating this nice little trend. So it's rejecting here, and then it'll just come down, create the next low. So we can trade that on the way down as well. Yeah, Mia, did you get into that silver trade yesterday that you posted? And then Billy, have you looked at platinum?
Yeah, I was looking at it this morning. So we did end up kind of sideways ranging a little bit on the 5 minute. Broke out of that and we're coming up, but on the 1 hour time frame, we're still in a range, and we're kind of in the middle of that range. So looking for a breakout of it to see, breakout and retest. But I'm not really seeing the play at this point, just because
I think it's gone at this point.
Yeah.
When I first looked at it this morning, so this was like the 6 o'clock candle that was pushing down. but I was looking at this level. So it's kind of going right now. This is what I'm expecting gold to do. It's kind of going right now, but at that 6 o'clock candle was pushing down. I was like, oh, this is going to be a good buy off of this level. And those lower time frames, that divergence that was there. And then we talk about it again. It's right here. Is that that second retest? You grab the green candle right before that it retests. It pushed up past it and came and retested right there, and now it's off to the move. So I think that one's gone. I didn't know it had left already. But if you look at those type of plays, that's what I'm hunting for right now. So we're going to carry this to this zone and possibly here. But these are the kind of plays that we hunt for. Like, you don't have to risk a lot to gain a lot. And that break retest right there. Let me just highlight that, because I want to keep going over this over and over again. It was like the highlight is this green candle that creates that liquidity zone. That usually the top of that candle is going to get retested. So it breaks through, comes back and retests. That's the entry. And it holds. You enter on the next candle, you enter in there, and that becomes the move. It's more of an ICT type strategy, saying that there's going to be liquidity for this on the second touch, not necessarily the first touch, but the second touch. Like this one, you're not going to get that second touch. You are, but you have to look further left to find it. And so I love these type of plays, but it's gone now. We're just watching it at this point. But that's what I'm expecting gold to do. Is this same play. And it just may do it off of this 5-minute 800. Hopefully it doesn't. Yeah, that 5-minute shark fin. Now, if it comes back down and retests the 800, and that proves to be support, which is, yeah, it kind of is a level. That's where the rejection happened here. This is where the rejection happened here. And so we stretch that over to where we are now. And if that gets retested, this may be the level as well, but definitely looking for it down here. Yeah, I think this is going to get knocked down off of the trend line of where we're at. Let me turn on my VWAP, see where we're at. This has potential to come up. I think it will get knocked back down and come lower, but we got to watch this level. So chat, if you can keep an eye on this level here, just scream it in the chat if you see it as we're going through stuff. If you see this 800 get hit again around 23, let's call it 2320 is where we want to put the alert. I'll put it at 2319. But we want to see this come up and then come back down and retest this again. It had multiple retests here, but I guess the retest is here. This has become liquidity in this range, which makes sense that this is where we pushed lower. So we broke this range and pushed lower. And so really the entry on this is once it breaks this level here. If we miss this move up and this is the move, then once it breaks this point, it'll come back and retest that point and use that area as liquidity to go to the upside. So that's another play, is that if this is the move, then we just wait for the retest and then we take it to the upside. So either way there. But Platinum, I hate that we missed that one, but it's the same move. And I just hope everyone sees that setup of how we spot that over and over again in the market. The same setup. This is what I was looking at with Nika.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, Tim, but on the lower time frame, it had a perfect reason to get into that buy too, because when it did the retest, it was just below the 1-minute 200 with a shark fin.
Yeah,
right at that level.
I see that. It's right there.
Yeah.
You know, that happens. I looked at it right before we got on the call. I looked at it and said, "Oh, this is going to be a good area." And that's the same way I was looking at gold. It's like this is going to be a good area, but platinum just set up really nice that way. Yeah, it was like, okay, you can be right on this. Let's say the price is cheap. You can be wrong on this, 7 out of 10 times, and then just hit one runner that goes that 1 to 6, 1 to 7 type range, and because these type of setups happen all the time. They're going to telegraph how they're going to run. So yeah, we just keep hunting and looking for those moves, but I'm expecting gold to do the same thing. Yeah, it's starting to come back down. So we'll watch this level, see if it gets retested. That's a failed auction to the upside. So as it comes down, and we're going to see if that level holds. If this level holds, then we'll do entries here up to the daily VWAP and possibly even further up into this zone here. And then let me jump over to oil too, because oil's dancing. We broke the 80. We know that. I got a lot of stuff on this chart. We broke the 80 and we're coming down. We know that. But now we're starting to find support. And we're finding that on old resistance. All right, so we could see if this level of old resistance becomes the new support area. And so this is something to pay attention to. I know we're ahead of the news with crude oil reports being tomorrow, but potentially finding support there at this level. So another one to pay attention to, whether we're going to enter into buys off of this level or not. I'm not convinced that it's going to do it, even if we just do a range trade. I just haven't seen enough exhaustion there yet to see if this is going to be something. Yeah, not enough proof right now. It's just moving sideways, which just could be accumulation to fall through. So haven't seen enough proof there. All right, so those are the ones I'm looking at. What are you? Are you interested in equities at all, or have you been looking at those? Or chat, what are you looking at as well? What do you have your eye on? I know US 30 is coming for a retest right now. This is kind of we were looking, Dustin was on yesterday, we were looking for sales in the equities. Really didn't get a nice retrace that I thought it should have been. Equities was just kind of weird. This was the retrace that came down and retested this zone. That was probably a good buy there, but not enough for us to get excited about.
Tim, I feel bad. I just sat here and scalped you as 30.
All right, so now let us see it on what you were seeing. Let us see what you're seeing.
Just go to the 1 minute. Just that little move down on the 1 minute.
Oh, real quick, that platinum trade's just about to take profit. That thing was a mover this morning.
Yeah, that was a good zone off of that. Let me show that real quick. Yeah, that was just a good setup, and I just like that move. It was like you gave it. This was the shark fin. It gave you the divergence right here, that green candle became liquidity that it came down and retested right there, and then pushed off of it. That was the same way Nikkei looked yesterday, and it may not be done yet. We may push up. I mean, we pushed up into this liquidity zone, but yeah, great move. It's a 1 to 4, a 1 to 4 piece. Yeah. But so you caught the sell down?
Yeah, and actually it wasn't US 30, it was NQ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was NQ on the 1 minute. So just from a structure standpoint, it had changed structure. We were kind of up, making an uptrend. But once it got to that level, I got in just 2 quick scalps, and scalped it down, made. And I probably should have just stayed in there and held it to where it got to, but I did 600 on it. So
nice move. Yeah, that was right off of the session anchor VWAP.
Yep. Yeah, on my end it was like a little below that session anchor VWAP. Then further left, I had a fair value gap, a self fair value gap. So,
nice sale. So I'm thinking buys though. You feeling a little better? Got back to where you need to be.
Yeah. But yeah, it may be at a good level for buys.
Yeah, it's a little scattered now. I'm just seeing the retest of this level. Looks really good. And yeah, but I think we'll get some more selling opportunities. Right now, yeah, this buy right here looks like it's heading back up to VWAP. Mm-hmm. I like when it extends away from VWAP, mm-hmm. and the TDI sets up as knowing that's where fair value is. Mm-hmm. So at some point, it's going to pull back to it, especially in the pre-market.
Yeah, and we got that shark fin on the 1 minute as well, but that bottom band is still pointing down, so it may come back down a little bit more. But
yeah, we're retesting this as support, and here mm-hmm. this is the same setup that we just talked about.
Yep.
Where this was the test. You could call it a shark fin, but then it went up and then it came down and retested that zone. And you look at this green candle as the liquidity zone, mm-hmm. so that when price pushes up past it, it comes back to retest it, and you enter in off of that for the buys. Is exactly what we're watching play out, this retest.
Yep.
That could possibly go to the longs. Now, usually I'll pull the stop loss under that liquidity there, and that's still at 2 to 3. Mm-hmm. But something like this, I would just pull it after the second retest, just pull it right there to have a tighter stop, and then just watch it run.
Yeah.
Those, and that's what we're saying, is that it plays out a lot of times, and it also gives you an opportunity to move your stuff to break even just in case. But on something this small where price is that cheap, I would just let it hit break even because price is so cheap. And then you can look at this as well, is that it's doing that retest again, mm-hmm. off of that liquidity zone, where it comes down and tests that green candle right there and then runs off. So I just like those type of plays.
Yeah, I know we got the 50 MA that it's right now, but it should break through that 50 MA on the 1 minute.
Yeah, it was a retest of this structure. Mm-hmm. And it was sort of, it's kind of doing like the same thing where you needed that kind of pullback, and you just measure that if you're thinking buys of how it gets there. So we're dancing right on that 50, 61, 8 level. And so yeah, it'll dance between the levels. Here it may come and hit this liquidity again, but we have targets just a little bit beyond VWAP, which is right at old liquidity level.
Yeah. If it comes back down and retest, I may look to get in.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure out what my I'm doing this on the 1 minute as well, so I gotta take that into consideration.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is the thing, is like 100 contracts on the micro is only $500 risk right there.
Yep.
And let me see if it's worth that. Because I would think that on the safe side, you would want to pull below this at least. And that way you would have to reduce the risk quite a bit.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, I don't know, not that much. Yeah, so like 40 contracts with the extended stop loss. But doesn't look like that. I think that was the retest right there. And if it comes back down again, because we are on the 1 minute looking at this, so really on the higher time frames, that retest hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Platinum is still pushing up. This is crazy. I was not expecting that kind of run on platinum today.
Yeah, that it was a good move. We're being patient with gold, but gold wants to do the same thing. Yeah, no, that 1 minute, this 1 minute on US 30, it was the move. For that same liquidity setup that we've been talking about. It just gives sniper entries. Just think about how, if we just keep practicing that move over and over and over again, how many times that's going to play out for individuals. It's like you risk $100, make a let's go back to my original setup where we pull just below the liquidity. Let's just look at that. And we said, on that one, you risk $550 to make 4,000, and then immediately you're in break. You're in break even. So when it comes down and gives you a more discounted price, it's just a good position to be in, and you can walk away from it without worrying about it. Like right now, just put it into break even and walk away from it. If it comes back down and you hear your alerts go off that it took you out of the trade, then you can get in at a cheaper price. All right. Okay, so gold did push up and hit that trend line. So now we're going to see if it breaks that trend line. Yeah, I just love that. See how it breaks through, comes back and retests, and then pushes up. So we do like those plays, but let's see. And then let's just look at platinum. This is one of those ones where you put on a little bit and then leave a runner on. So it's 1-6 right now, off of just that same liquidity grab where it come back retest, and you get in off of that retest. It's just a nice move, nice setup. And you're not risking anything on this deal. And platinum's one of those ones that runs forever. It doesn't stop once it gets going in the direction. So yeah, gold is doing the same thing, it's just doing it slower. And as DXY is pushing down to the zone.
Yeah, Naz is flying on the 1 minute at least.
Yeah,
it's pushing on up. I did another 550 on it. And
oh, you're in this one again?
I was. I may be done for the day.
Nice. So you what, $1,000 day?
Yep.
And
yep.
what about 2 minutes of trading?
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. I love it. Love it. All right, let's see if we can get in a trade together. Let's hunt a little bit. See what trade we want to get in.
Yeah, well that
don't
NQ,
like it coming down.
Well, that NQ I got in late, but it was really at that break of the 1 minute 50. So once I was sure it was, once I was sure it completely broke that 1 minute 50, I had my stop loss like right below that 1 minute 50.
Yeah, that's good.
Just ran it up.
Nice. We are making money today. How's chat doing? You guys hitting some of these moves as well, or what are you looking at? Let's see. Yeah, everyone's or it looks like folks are waiting on gold. We got a lot of gold traders in the community.
Yeah,
Gold's becoming a popular popular instrument to trade. Yeah, this NAS one is, and it's crazy that it's pushing up, but it's still within the range. It's still consolidating.
Yep.
Like you made $1,000 just on consolidation. You know, this is a perfect on a 15-minute that shark fin divergence that's here, and then the push up to VWAP, and then come to retest that level for a second entry. It's just crazy.
Yeah, and of course to do that I went a little heavy. I was not trading micro, mini chart.
Talk about it. What was you doing?
I just went in with a little 10, just a little 10
on the E-mini.
Yeah, on the E-mini.
You know, if you still were holding that, you'd be like 10,000 up.
Listen, I told you it's baby steps for me. It's baby steps with the 10 contracts. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, you know, one of the I don't know if you know how to stair step your take partials, but one of the things to do when you're there is, let me see if I can do it. 18, 178. Don't want to do it there. So let me do it at 18, 128. Let me see if I can. I think I got to put in an order.
Yeah, I think you have to have an order to do that.
So yeah, so if when you have an order in, like I'll place the order over here, and then I'll stair step it. I'll put stop limits. So I'll be like, my take profit 1 is here. Take off. Say I have 8 contracts on. Take profit levels here. I take off 2 contracts, and then I put another stop limit up here. It's like this take profit 2. I'm gonna take off 2 more contracts, and then my third one's up here. I'm gonna take off 2 more contracts, and then it's a way to stair step the in lieu of taking off all of the contracts.
Yeah,
you can
you're
stair step
taking
your way.
Profit along. Okay.
Right. And then your bottom, you just move that to break even. Where the last take profit was, just move it back up to your stop loss will just trail it.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna do that because
yeah,
would have been a really, really good trade.
Yeah. So let's look at that where the sales are going to be on NQ. Potential sales. And do we have news? Anything going on in the market right now? I don't think we do.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think we do.
Nope, we don't.
Yeah, not really no drivers outside of DXY just finding a bottom. And so now that DXY has found a bottom and we'll start pushing up here pretty soon, let's look at some potential sales at this level. Yeah, we don't want to step in front of it right now because the 15 minute still looks bullish. We're just looking at where this will exhaust, and even if we want to get into with some of these, because it's that's a 1 to 7 risk reward. We're moving into that 1 to 8 now. 1 to 8 risk reward based off of a lower time frame turning into a longer time frame move. And so market is moving, and we like to see some of these longer term moves. I see we got folks waiting on gold. So even on gold, the retracement here is a possibility. I like this level of support. I like that that's pushing up, that we got a retracement of most of this move. So that came down to 50 PRZ, 50% PRZ. So we got a nice retracement on that. And then now heading up. So let me see. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm thinking of I don't want to take it out of this consolidation right here. Yeah, I really don't want to take it out of this consolidation. I don't think it's ready yet.
Looks like we may be getting some exhaustion on platinum. We got a deep 15-minute shark fin. And it looks like a doji candle starting to form possibly there. I'm not 100% convinced it's going to stop here, but it looks like we may be starting to get some exhaustion.
Yeah. Those that 1 minute band pulled up above the 75.
Yeah. So it makes me think we still got a little bit to go. Because I do have a trend line higher, but we are at like a support resistance area where we projected before. But with how bullish that hour candle was, I mean, that thing, it's just straight up.
Crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, it's not even beginning to turn around.
Yeah, we need to see like divergence play or something.
Boy, that's something else.
Yeah. Yeah, at this
1
point,
to 8.
yep. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, but I think this gold is setting up to do the same thing. I just think we need some volume in the market. Need some volume in the market. I'm gonna trade this 5 minute back down to where I think our entry is gonna be. Because I would love to find a trade that we could take together, which is kind of where it's at right now. Kind of interested in the buys right here. It's a rangy play. It's a rangy play. But I think I'm going to take some buys.
It's ranging because you know it knows you wanted to do what Platinum did. It's just like, no.
Yeah, and it's a little, we're just trading off of support. I love the support down lower at 2300, 2310, but love it down here. But don't think we're going to get there right now.
Yeah.
Or today, I mean. So we are eyeballing this entry here. Yeah, really, the entry should be right here. Yeah, these were the highs that put in these lows. That's currently what we're retesting right now. Yeah, I think I'm going to catch it down. We're just going to catch it. Yeah, I was going to take this 5 minute shark fin back down to retest this 800. But it's a low value play right now. Are we
Yeah, and
watching this?
the 15-minute TDI is kind of range. It has been ranging below the 50 there. So it does look like it's got room to push down.
Yeah, was that the false move to the top? This is going to be an interesting play. We're just keeping our eyes on gold right now. Let me flip through, see if there's any other setups right now. Yeah, possible sales on NQ as well. But Nikkei, I think we should start looking at potential for buys. No. Gold is trying to reconcile this 5-minute shark fin.
Looks like oil too is at the bottom of the range, and we don't really have any great signals, and we are getting some divergence on the 1 minute, it looks like. But we may be able to find a buy here, especially like if it breaks out of this range one way or the other, and then a retest, then I'd feel a lot more confident in it. But let me take a look at our 4 hour. Yeah, we're sitting just above the 4 hour 800 right now.
Yeah, it sort of looks like what the way I was looking at. What was I looking at? NQ last night? What was I looking at? What time frame was I looking at this on? Does it go? Oh, I don't know what I was looking at. No, I think it was. Yeah, it was. It's like, this looks familiar, but we've been selling off, and so I was looking at this pattern here as a potential for like a reverse bear flag, like a bull flag, more so signaling the reversal. Because usually when this pattern points up, it's a continuation to the downside. But when you see it pointing down, where it starts to range in that channel, and then we start to get this bottom, equal bottoms, then it's a signal of the reversal to the upside. So that's what I was looking at as potentially happening at this level, which is old resistance. So yeah, I think we probably will start seeing some buys here. Mia's out. Mia, did you trade at all? Or did you find any trades? Okay, let's see. Yeah, where are you looking at for oil? Where are you trying to take that one?
Not sure yet. I kind of just noticed that we were at the bottom of that range. I'm kind of liking it off that 4-hour 800, which is sitting just below where we're at. Kind of use that almost as a liquidity grab to then go to the upside, or like a fake out for sells kind of deal. Because I think at that point we're starting to get like a 1 minute shark fin. Everything's sitting kind of low. Let me take a look at the hour here. I don't really like the TDI on the hour though, because it may end up just falling.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of really looking for a breakout of this sideways range and then a retest. Like if we break out to the downside, retest it, continue it down, or break out to the upside and continue it up is kind of more of what I'm looking for with it. I do feel like it's going to be for buys, but
yeah, it's like I run the same play over and over again. And it was like when you look at, so we found the liquidity zone, we're pushing lower. If this is going to be a buy, then I would take it off of a retest. And so this is the low.
Yeah.
If this is support, I wouldn't take it off of there. I would take it off of this candle that broke that, or that brung in that low, that green candle. Let that break and then let it retest. Then I'll enter in off of that retest to the upside.
Yeah.
In lieu of risking it off of the first touch here, because we don't know where the bottom is. But we do know that if it's going to reverse, it's going to break and then retest. So I'll just wait for that to happen.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm looking for.
So I'll put the alert right there, right at the bottom of that retest. And get back in there. All right. So as we're kind of patiently waiting on gold to set up right now. We looked at if this is going to be the area if we should enter in right now, because it's kind of doing what we said it was going to do, is break through this liquidity zone and then come back and retest it and then find support to the upside. So if that was the retest that we should be in on for buys, and we're kind of waiting on this 5-minute shark fin, which is now turning divergence, to work itself out.
Yeah, I think I had my entry much lower, actually, where you have yours marked at. Yeah, I had an entry down there, but yeah, we'll see what this 5-minute shark fin does.
Yeah. There it goes. All right, Sherry, have a good day. Fruitful day. Thanks for jumping on with us as we are trading these live markets and live accounts. Share with a friend. Tell someone to meet us in the morning. Terrace has already made his first 1,000 this morning, and now the rest of us are looking for our 1,000. See, that's, and I wanted you to hang on for a little bit, Terrace. I was like, get out of that trade yesterday, because today you're gonna make 1,000.
That's what it was. That's what it was too. Listen,
That's why we're gonna tell the story. We're gonna tell the story that way.
I got some catching up to do, like, cause yeah, I got some catching up to do.
Yeah.
One thing I see is like when you're seeing the charts well, and when you're recognizing trades, you see things play out, and so after that, it's just little tweaks and adjustments that you have to make to really maximize what you're doing. And so even with yesterday, we watched it, we saw how it played out, ended up playing out, but we saw it. Like we saw it well, even though I got out. We saw it well, and so the next time I see that play come around, I know how it's going to just hold on to the trade. Like simple as that. Even this morning with 1,000 I made, something as simple as taking off contracts and having some still flying pretty much. That would have gone a long way. So instead of 1,000, I could be at 3, 4, or 5,000 right now.
Yeah. So, Billy, this is the same thing that happened with platinum. But I just keep reiterating it. Is that it produced this low? It's like, what produced that low? What green candle produced the low? It was this green candle, and so then we'll come back and let that break through. It broke through here. It retested it right here in that zone, and then it came back down and retested it again. If you go down to a lower time frame, it broke it, retested it, and then used that as support to go to the upside. And so it's the exact same move that platinum did, pretty much on the same time frame. I think platinum did on a little lower time frame, which we probably can see it on the lower time frame as well. No, it's clear on the 5, but the exact same move. And I was like, it was just delayed from platinum. So even if you didn't get in this platinum trade, which is crazy. Even if you didn't get in this, you could have gotten this, which was going to do the same thing. Same setup, same play. Oh, Tisha was in gold. Nice. On your challenge account. Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
What I love about this, man. Like if we can help other people, start making some money and just kind of change their lives, and whether it's $500 a month, $500 a day, you just imagine how that could change your life.
That's the truth. I mean, that's really the truth. Tisha said, one and done. Nice. Love it. No, that's good. I love to see it. Yeah, but we're watching these plays. These pre-market moves have been really good. I think platinum was the trade of the day. This move here was the trade of the day, and just the retest. That was the liquidity right here. Drug that over, and it retested it perfectly and took off. Then gold followed suit. The retest was a little higher, but it did retest, and now it's taken off. And just love to see it. There'd be days where that happens over and over again. All right, let's see if we can find some more. We're making some folks money. People are making money. I'm glad to see it, and they're not compromising. It's their strategy. They know, and that's what I love about it, is that you didn't see me take it, but you had the conviction to take that gold trade yourself, which is awesome. Let's see if this is going to sell off here.
All right, guys, it's about that time for me. I gotta start getting Liam ready for school and everything, drop him off up there, but I'll stay logged in, and if I can join back in, I definitely will. If not, I hope everybody has a great day.
Yeah, Billy, yeah. What you looking at after this? I know platinum has platinum today.
Platinum has platinum today. I like that. Yeah, I'm not real sure. I was kind of looking at NQ to break out of its little range here, go for a retest, and kind of see what we got going on there, and potentially oil as well. And then just kind of keep an eye on gold and platinum, and we'll kind of see what the day brings. I'm sure, hopefully open will give us a little bit of a shakeup in the things that are ranging right now, to give us an opportunity to get in. So kind of keep an eye on that. Looking for anything over $500 a day.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Sounds like a
Good
plan.
job.
So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'll try to join back in. But if not, everybody have a great day.
All right, you too, Billy.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, it's been a good day. It's been a good day. I'm happy to see we're making chat buddy. You're making buddy. I'm seeing some good setups here. It's a good trading day, especially for a low volume day.
Yeah.
It's the markets are trending well.
Yeah, trending better than it was yesterday morning. So
Yeah,
I like to see these movements.
yeah. I am yet to find a trade. Took that trade last night, but I'm yet to find one this morning that I'm just ready to jump in. Being kind of cautious, but a lot of these setups were perfect to get in on. A large part of these moves were really ideal. I mean, if you didn't get in, it is not because the charts were not giving you the move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what's on a scale from 1 to 10? What do you think the repercussions is going to be when Dr. Denise and Nedra's on tomorrow?
Listen. They're gonna come ready. They come ready. Denise is probably watching right now. Just preparing.
Nedra and everybody are on a Zoom right now talking about it.
They took notes, everything.
Oh man, yeah. I had to take my shots while they're off the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is coming back down. NAS is coming back down, starting to get that retracement. So it's kind of obvious we're going to look for buys at the open.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've been so bullish, but it's just a matter of where. We're retesting support, or actually, let's see what we're retesting. Because in the grand scheme of things, we're just breaking out of this consolidation, really. And so, is that a fake breakout, or is this a real? Yeah, that looks like a bearish or a bullish flag pattern that we could be breaking to the upside here. So we definitely want to do that at open. I think I'm looking at that, and then did gold retrace? No, gold is gone. Yeah, but that's the thing. Is like we called it was like, okay, platinum did this thing. This is what gold is going to look like.
Yep.
And so it gave us plenty of time to get into this gold trade. It just moving a little slower, but it's going to end up looking like that. It has potential to break through the this liquidity zone, but definitely heading up there.
Yeah.
And so now following suit is the indices, which is kind of delayed, but we're breaking out of this consolidation range. And so now we're looking for buys. And I think you may see me take an opening bell trade on the buy side.
Tim, I might go along. We're gonna see.
Yeah. NAS is acting a little crazy. I'm looking at like US 30 kind of broken out already and came back to retest the range. And so this is kind of the move that I'm expecting for US 30.
Mm-hmm.
But we're so far away from so far, we're only 17 minutes away from the open, but in US 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
In US 30 years, we're a light years away from open.
Yeah.
And that volume's gonna start entering in.
Man, yeah. US 30, it moves so quickly. We just never know where it's gonna be come open. But did 1 minute had a shark fin, a bear shark fin, and it looks like it's pushing down a little bit now. So, and I think the VWAP I got the VWAP pretty much at the 1 minute 50.
Yeah, that may be a good entry too if it makes it down there. It has to make it down there first, but
Yep.
if you look at what's putting in these lows of the retest of the 1 minute, it's
Mhm.
right where resistance is up here, and that's right where VWAP is.
Yep.
So that's telling the market fair value's down there. It's just a matter of if we get there.
Yep.
Because
if we get there, I'm definitely looking for buys right there.
Yep, in this area.
Mhm.
Let's call it. Oh, that's a 39.30 range. If we get down to that,
Mhm.
which will happen really fast.
Yep.
So we got to be prepared for it.
If it gets down there, like, let's just say it just makes it goes up and test that high. That's all I need. Actually, I don't even need that, but if I'm going in heavy, but yeah, I need that to happen. Push on down, buddy.
Here it comes. All right, so gold's made its move. Let's see if we can catch US 30 coming down for the retest. All right, 15 minutes left. It's forming a head and shoulder pattern. We need this neckline to break, fall a little bit further. Touch 78.6 and then push all the way up to 39.80. Like let me take a pause on that because I can clip that perfectly if it does that exactly.
Mhm.
Like that'll be perfect.
Yeah.
Come down, touch that, go there. We'll see. Thanks for joining, everyone. Make sure that you go tell a friend. Tell a friend. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and that you're hitting the subscribe button. And if you are making profits with us in the community, tell someone else. Help someone else do the same. From this skill set that you're learning and watching us do it. We're talking about time liberation, freedom that we're able to make. What would take us, a month or even a year to make. Sometimes we make that in a day. And so we talk about time liberation where, just for maybe, realistically, if we weren't doing the show, we'd probably be in the markets for like maybe an hour at most. But you saw Terrace make his money in a few minutes, and then he can walk away and enjoy the rest of his day. And so the time liberation that you don't have to move within, you don't have to be tied to a Babylonian type system where you have to give away all your time in exchange for dollars. And so with that time liberation, what are you free to now do? And you can be now free to do kingdom and live life with purpose. And so that's really the emphasis that we've been moving in is how do you liberate folks? It first starts with the mind, that you got to believe that God is setting you free. What Dr. Ann talked about yesterday, you have what is your money beliefs? What do you believe about wealth? What do you believe about finances? And you start to think about that. Like, what have you been taught that has become more of a barrier than anything else for you to grow and to be successful in life, not for yourself, but for the expansion of kingdom. And so that's what we're doing here. You're seeing us operate in the morning on these charts and making, what most people make in the month, we'll make it in a few minutes. But most people make in a year, we'll make that in a week. And it's not to brag on, hey, yeah, we got money, but it's to say that there is another way. There is a more excellent way that if you have the right character, if you have the right systems, if you have the right strategy, the God strategy, that he's the one that gives us power to get wealth. And so these wealth systems belong to our God. It belongs to the kingdom. And that's what we're here doing is showing others. We've been doing this privately. I've been trading for years. We've been meeting as a group collectively for a little over a year together privately. But this is what we've been doing, is that now is the time that there is a harvest time coming to the body of Christ, that we no longer have to beg for our food and beg for our bread, but God has given us strategy. He's given us wisdom. He's given us community to support you moving into that next level of life. And so that's what I love about this trade. That's what I love about coming in publicly. It's the right time. Like I really like that we laid a solid foundation first, and really took our time with this, that we're not selling a course, or we're not looking for subscribers, but God says, I want you to go public now. For a while, he was like, keep it behind closed doors. Don't make an announcement on Facebook. Don't make an announcement on social media. Privately do
we
this.
We were good with that.
Yeah.
We were good with doing it private. Yeah, I know.
You know, it was like when we had that huddle call, we was like, this is what we're going to do. Yep. And this is what the Lord said to do. It said, now is the time to do it. And in the back of my mind, it's like, oh, man, let's do another year privately.
Yep.
You know, it's like, or even the wait list that we have, you know, people trying to get into the community. And we held off that because we didn't want, you know, the wrong spirit entering into and trying to disrupt the community.
Yeah.
And so just the patience with that piece is like, but God said go. And when he says go, we have to go. So this is what you're witnessing here.
So we got my guy, Kiari is in the building this morning.
Oh, nice.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Welcome, Kiari. Good to see you on, man. Yeah. All right, we're about 9 minutes away from the open. We're standing at the top with this 1 minute divergence that's currently on US 30. So we're just stalking it. We're just hunting it right now. It's like, okay, we know you got to retrace and we want you at the VWAP. We may catch it back down, but we want you at the VWAP.
Yeah, I was thinking about trying to catch it back down too. It pushed up further than where I thought it was going to go, but it looks like it's starting to retrace again.
Yeah, it's definitely a counter trend play. And then you get the volume. Yeah. So we'll just let a few candles play out.
Yeah.
Let a few candles play out. And then see what happens from there. Let me check on gold. Yeah, it didn't make it all the way up, but it is. You're saying that that session anchor VWAP is saying that fair value is right around that range. So if we come back and retest this liquidity level, that old support that we broke out of, that may be another place to get into buys. But all of that range is, let's just cycle through. We got US 30 still pushing up. Volume starting to come back into the market. S&P is the same thing. And we got a lot of exhaustion here on NQ, which we really did. We're expecting the pullback yesterday to happen, and it really didn't. Yeah, these ranges. And then platinum is coming back down to retest VWAP as well. Yeah, these were good moves this morning. As DXY continues to fall down to 105.
Yeah, with that NQ, I'd love to see that push down to that 1 minute VWAP, which is also right at the 800 on the 1 minute. Like, that's a nice solid level right there.
Yeah, that old resistance turn support. We just really cleared this fib.
Yeah.
And the way we're pushing up now, we may get a double top, but looking very bullish. 6 minutes away from the open.
Yeah. So Tim, what's your strategy? So I know you like to take them opening bell moves. Like
Yeah. Oh,
like,
yes.
let's look at like so NQ specifically.
Yep.
Yeah, we know it's should be bullish,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of times at the opening bell, it may do the opposite. Like, what's your trading zone?
Yeah. So I only do it off of levels of support and resistance to identify those. And so with this one, with NQ, really what I'm looking at is this this breakout that's currently here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for a range trade out of the breakout. And I know we haven't yet created the we've created the high of the day, but we've been in consolidation for the most part. And so for an opening bell trade, I would look for in this, you can call this a bullish flag pattern, but we've been having this bullish momentum. The accumulation is just to get strength for the bullish momentum that's going. And so for opening bell trade, I would be looking for buys. But as far as levels, that buy can just run. You know, there's really nothing that says that it has to stop right now. We're really in that outer space territory that we're always talking about.
Yeah.
You know,
as far
breaking
as
through.
Stop loss. Stop loss right below the previous low, or
well, the breakout is your
box.
Yeah, so in your breakout, you're trading the range.
Yep.
So this is the range here that you're trading. And so this is range high, range low.
Yep.
You would just look for the initial breakout, and stop loss would be below that breakout.
Okay.
You know, and you're looking for, I've identified let's call it 8.270s. Let's call it 8.3 range is the top of where the highs were previously. Coming off of this, that we could potentially go up and retest. So there's a wide range on these buys that we could be seeing.
Yeah.
So that's what I would look for on NQ, but I'm not doing that. I really don't like breakouts on NQ. I really like breakouts on US 30.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really the same kind of play, which US 30 has already done it. Let me show you what it did. Let me get rid of this. So really that range trade on US 30 was this consolidation area.
Mm-hmm.
And it broke out here, came, retested it, and then went to the upside. And then it retested again and it's continuing up. And so that should continue. It may come back and retest that, but that uptrend should continue. And if you just look at liquidity zones looking left, this is the next range up here. And so we haven't got a lot of volume. We'll see if we get a lot of volume this morning, but that would be something that I would be looking for. And then if you just do potential levels here of this would probably be the only thing I would be concerned about when looking at that, is that if we push, we could get rejection at this level, but that also could serve as support and continue up to this liquidity level.
Yeah.
But it's kind of already doing that now. We're starting to get the momentum that's pushing it up now. So it's kind of already doing that. So now you have to go back and look at NQ to see if NQ is going to do the same.
Yeah.
So that would look something like that. And then with momentum, you could get your stop loss to break even right away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's you'll risk a bit for the time being, but then when you turn on your order, so let's say where it's at right now. Let's say I put 10 contracts on. This is risk 1250 to make 1600 and possibly break that and make more. So that initial 1220, you have to sell yourself on. I'm okay with losing that at the open.
Mm-hmm.
If not, then reduce your risk. So how much are you willing to risk? So it's kind of risky. Let's say $366. Okay. So risk 366. Well, I'm okay with losing that, to trade this range. But then it's only going to be lost going to be at risk for the first initial 5-minute candle. Once that candle closes above it and I see that, move the stop loss in profit, and it's a risk-free trade.
Yep.
So that's kind of my strategy. And so when you see me take that, I've already put that in consideration. So if you to see me hit the button, I've hit it just thinking about my levels of where I think price could go.
Yeah.
And this could potentially be, I don't trade breakouts too often, except at open. And this could potentially be a false breakout. You would need the next candle to open to see if this candle is going to go back to the range or close above it.
Yep.
And so let me just take a low risk entry at open. Oh, bells up, bells here, bells here, bells here. All right, so we are open for the open. All right, market is open and we do not have any volatility right now in the market.
No
it's a
volume,
slow open. Yeah, it's a slow open this morning. No news drivers right now, but this candle is closing above. US 30 has come all the way back into the range. And so let's see what happens. We're just going to scroll through. DXY looks like it wants to find support. Gold is retracing to find liquidity. And so these buy sides do look good. Something like this on US 30 buys. It just came back and retapped that support and it's headed to the upside. Yeah, and so that's what I'm talking about at open, that dip down into liquidity. We could probably get in on that one. And we're taking this trade all the way up to really like 18,280, 18,290 right now for support. So we're in on this trade. Market's open and it's pushing up. I kind of want to add to this position because I went in kind of light. So I'm going to add into this position if we can get a push down first. I'm going to put in a limit order at this range just to protect the trade. Yeah, I think I'm going to add into this position. So I'm going to add in one position. That at least allows me to give I'm going to put in a buy position right there. All right, so now you see my stop loss, my sell limit. We're going to increase that to 4. Excuse me. All right, so and this is what I was talking about. I can put in now different stop losses here.
Yeah, show me that, please.
Yeah. So we're going to put in our first sell limit here. I think I can just bring this in.
No, just not going there and doing that. Okay.
Yeah. And let's say we take off 2 contracts. I'm going to move this up. We're going to reduce this down. So once it gets here, we'll take off 2 contracts. And then once it gets to, that should execute here. Then we'll just take off the other 2 once it gets here.
Yeah, I got in NQ. Pretty much the same play. And so I'm up. I was up 1,000. I'm up like 200 right now.
Yeah, it's gonna fight. It's gonna fight a little bit. So we may see this level get retested. But if any volume comes in, it should push it up. But right now, what we're fighting is this 5-minute shark fins that are coming up.
Yeah.
And it's just on the just when that starts to turn around, we got to be cognizant of it.
Yeah.
Like we may be able to get a cheaper price. I'm gonna leave it on for a little bit. It's not ready to move the stop loss yet, and so we'll just let this play around here for a while.
Yeah.
We just need
I
some volume.
may end up taking profit early since I've hit my goal already for the day.
Yeah.
If I can get another 5. I'm at 5 right now.
Okay.
It's up 600 now. I may go ahead and take it and just be done.
Go ahead there. Go ahead and take the money and run.
So
That's good, man. That's a good day.
That's the idea. I'm up.
That's a good day.
It's over 700 now. Like so. It keeps fluctuating. So
that trigger fingers get itchy.
Listen, all I gotta do is press one button. So
Yeah.
I'm very close to pressing. I'm gonna let it.
I think it's got potential to run, but I would like to see. It's probably wanting to dip down into liquidity again.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I got the stop loss there. And we're fighting up against. It's coming off that VWAP too, so that's good, working in its favor. But I think it's coming off this lower. Let me go to the 5. No, that was support. That was really support. Volume came in down a lot lower, so we may see it go down and dip into those areas.
Yeah, I took profit. I literally just took profit. If it dips down a little bit more, I may take another position. But I only took a $200 profit on it. I probably should have took it when it was up close to 800.
Nice, good day, man. Good day.
Just let it run, and it is pushing down a little bit more, so I might get a better position.
Yeah, and so I'm low risk in it, and I like being low risk because like just let it play. You're expecting it to come up and hit the trend, but how is it going to get there? And it has to get liquidity first, so it's going to go into drawdown and do its thing. If I'm right, it'll do its thing, and then we'll evaluate. I'm not going to add into the losing position, but if it shows that it gets past here, I may consider moving that as well. But lack of volume right now. This is a low volume candle. Let's see what the rest of the world is doing. Yeah, look at that spike down on US 30.
Yeah.
Like that's non-tradable. Well, it actually is tradable on the if you're just trading the shark fin up, that 30-second shark fin down into liquidity. If you took that up, that's a good trade. So it actually is tradable. Let's look at gold. Yeah, the morning's off to a slow start. No news in the market to really push it.
Yeah.
So what's your plan now? So you're out of every trade. You've made your money.
Yeah.
What's your plan now?
Man, like I came into today saying I wanted to push it a little bit and go ahead and get this my current challenge pass, and so I will still be looking at the markets if I got another 1 or 2 trades in me. I'll take it. Like it's got to present itself. It's got to be A+ setups. But big thing is I don't want to lose what I've already made, and so really controlling my risk, and I don't want to be overexposed and being in too many trades either for the day. So yeah, I'm gonna balance it. It's gonna be a psychological battle today on whether you push it and potentially lose, or you just be satisfied with profits. And I have a $1,200 day. That's a good day. That's a really good deal. I'm only a couple thousand away from passing this $75,000 challenge.
Nice.
So, I only have to make 4,500 on there.
Yeah, and you can be conservative with it. You don't have to swing 1,000 to make it up.
Yep. And these are situations where in the past where like I'm on the brink and like I trade something that I shouldn't, or I go in too heavy with the risk, and one trade knocks me out of position. So I'm trying to be smart with it.
Yeah, and I like the how you're smart with it. You're pacing yourself, that you're not trying to do it all in one day. So like you take a small L, you're like, okay, forget about that. Let's make another good trade. You made a good trade, a couple good trades today, and now you're up, account's doing well, and you can walk away and not be too greedy.
Yep. Yeah. And just being satisfied, man. Like that's something that I think we have to get and understand, is just being okay with having $1,000 day. You haven't hit your overall goal, but that's okay. Like, pace yourself. So, it's that is pacing yourself is so key. Being patient, so key to everything. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So this idea currently looks like this. I'm not interested in this failed auction to the upside. This is the last lower high that's being retested. So if that breaks, I'm not really interested in it, and I'm not really interested in losing a lot for this. So I'll just take the L on this one with a couple hundred, like $100 and something. And so this is what the idea looks like right now. It's a little bit above support, so I'll fully expect for the stop to get hit, come down to VWAP, and then relook at it there with a couple of, and that's really what I like about the way that I trade, even though it's not as attractive, it helps me preserve an account. So like my losses, you'll see me lose 100. Sometimes you'll see me lose 300 if I have a lot of risk on. But then you'll see me make 1,000, 2,000. So it's like, I'm comfortable with just limiting the risk. And if it flies, then it's great. If it doesn't, great.
Yeah.
So well aware of this liquidity zone here. I'm just going to get rid of it because we know where it's at. It's important to mark it up just so you know where it's at, but it's not really serving me right now. So I'll just pull it to the side and just put this zone on. Let's see what gold is doing. Yeah. See, gold came down and hit that liquidity zone again.
Oh, it did.
And then, so that it pushed that. That was the next entry back in. Yep. And now it's pushing to the upside.
Yeah. Yeah, hit that liquidity zone perfectly too. Just whipped it. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like you could catch this over and over again. Let's see an oils level. If that level held, I don't know if Billy took this trade, but he was talking about oil at this level. And what I was talking about, so yeah, oil looked good at this level, but what I was talking about more so is how it gets down there and what will it retest. And really, because we produced that low, you just go to our regular play if you're expecting, because this level has to get broke first, but before it can do that, if I can grab it. We're gonna move that here because this is really the liquidity zone that it broke, retested there, that it possibly could break and retest again. And that could possibly be the zone to get in off of this retest here. So I'm gonna move this higher time frame move over and just put this lower time frame up. And gotta be careful of that too, because it could leave from right here. But yeah, this looks like a good buy.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not going to hang out too much longer. I'm going to see if NQ is going to decide to push up, or will it hit the stop loss and come down to VWAP. We really need this high to be broke, and it's starting to look good, starting to shape up, but we'll see.
It is. Well, I'm gonna take a little break, a little step away from the charts, and I'll probably jump back on. And Tim, don't let me do nothing crazy today, please.
No, I think you should just walk away from the chart. You made your money. Just walk away and call it a day.
Just close the laptop.
Close the laptop, man. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the same. I made the money last on that Nikkei.
Yeah.
And really, markets aren't really moving at all. And so I may just close things up and walk away. See if the stop gets hit. But this is no volume. So we don't like trading no volume, low volume days. Yeah. I think I'm in a good position. It just needs to get some momentum to push up. Yeah, and it's finally getting that. So you may see me move my... If it gets a nice push off of this, then you may see me move my stop to break even. But no, I think you should just walk away from the charts and don't trade. That would be and call it a good day.
All right, that's the plan.
The plan. Call it a good day. I'm gonna leave this stop loss in because it's pretty cheap. You know, it's pretty cheap right now. Let me just see what this was. Let's say 4. Yeah, so I'm risking $162 right now. So it's pretty cheap. So, you know, we'll leave this open. Right now it's $50 up, and we'll see if it runs. So if I see something exciting, I'll post it in the Discord, and we'll do it that way.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll be looking out.
Oh, there we go. No, just keep running. Yeah. We'll see if this one runs. I think I will get a cheaper price on this. That's a double top right there to me. So we're in break even territory. So right now it's a risk-free trade. Don't like the double top. It needs to push up. So I'm getting out of this.
Yep.
With $0 loss. So we're out of that. And that's going to be the trading day for today. So you're up. Tisha made money. A few others made money. I think that's a good day.
Yeah, it's a good day. Real good day.
Let's do it again tomorrow. Let's do it again tomorrow.
Same bat channel, same bat time tomorrow.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good one. I'll talk to you, man.
Yes, sir. All right, guys.
See you in the Advanced Lab.
Yes, sir.